if you have company stock in your 401k or any other pre-tax account, some sort of stock ownership plan where they are giving you money that is company stock, and you're going to have that in the plan, you oftentimes have what is a cost basis. It's an amount that you acquire the stock for. Well, from there, the growth is going to be different, and that's going to come into this play with the calculation for the net unrealized appreciation. I had a client that reached out to me and they asked if they should do the NUA strategy or not. And so I want to break it down exactly what I looked at to really help them to make the decision on what they were going to do. There are a lot of variables that come into play. The stock could continue to rally, or maybe something else changes. Maybe they don't hold the stock as long as I've calculated for. There's a lot of things that could vary in this calculation that will vary for yours, but this is a simple way to really break this down and show you. So when I say simple, there's quite a bit of math that comes into play, but I'm going to actually show you the figures here. So let's go over to the handy dandy board and talk about this. So it's the NUA, net unrealized appreciation strategy if you have stock in a pre-tax plan like your 401k. And so for this person, their current value of all of their stock was $40,260. And so I'm going to be cheating a little bit looking at this screen, so bear with me because I have all of the numbers here because it'd take forever to go through the math with you. Their cost basis was $25,929, so that was the cost basis on this. That's really the big thing that we want to figure out. Now, also we want to know, okay, what is the tax bracket they are in? Well, they're currently in a 24% tax bracket. So the way the NUA works is what you'll do is you're going to take the cost basis and you're going to then figure out what your tax bracket is, and then you're going to have to pay taxes on this cost basis. So their tax would be $6,223. That would be the tax on this. Now from there, what's going to happen is you're going to take the $40,260, you subtract out what you've already paid taxes on, and then everything that's remaining of that, you would pay long-term capital gains. A lot of people that retire in a higher tax bracket or potentially in a higher tax bracket at some point in life, it's oftentimes advantageous to be able to do the NUA so that you have a 15% tax on all of the gains versus instead paying possibly 24% in the retirement years. And so for this scenario, what we're looking at, instead of just going through that directly, what I did to really figure out if this is going to work for them is I said, okay, let's take what we have here, and that is $34,037. The reason I have that is because technically that's the money they now have. They don't have the full $30,260 because it cost them $6,223 for the taxes. And so if we take this amount, and we say for 20 years this is going to grow at a 7% rate of return. If that is the case, then you are going to have $131,712. There we go. $131,712. Now, from there, what you want to do is subtract out your cost basis because, again, remember, we've paid the tax on this $25,929. So we're going to subtract that out. And then what we've got is $105,783. And we're going to multiply that by 0.15 because, remember, everything is above the cost basis. We're going to pay long-term capital gains, which, depending on your tax bracket, is generally 0.15. So once we have the breakdown there, they're going to have to pay $15,867 in taxes. So $15,867 in taxes would be $89,916 plus $25,929 equals $115,845. All right. So if you bared with me through all of that math to really figure out what this looks like, basically, after all is said and done, what I wanted to look at was, okay, you've got the NUA, you've paid the cost basis, then it's going to grow, then you're going to pay the capital gains. What is the total, after all taxes, everything is said and done, this is what they would be sitting with after 20 years if they said after 20 years, hey, I'm just going to cash this out, I'm done. All right, now we're going to look at it a little bit different, and we're going to say, okay, let's just leave all of the money in the account. So remember, it was $40,260, and we're going to invest for 20 years at a 7% rate of return. If we were to do that, we would end up with $155,793. Now, in the retirement years, working with this client and kind of talking with them and looking at their plan, I figured out that they're not going to be in a 24% tax bracket in retirement. Potentially, though, they could be in a 20% tax bracket throughout retirement. So if we're looking here at the 20% tax bracket, then that would be $31,158. But in the end, if we factor all of this together and we break this down, then if they did the pre-tax altogether after taxes, they would have $124,635. So it would actually be better for them to just do the pre-tax. Potentially, they would have about $9,000 more by keeping it pre-tax instead of doing the NUA strategy. Now, again, you could probably look at this, and we're all going to look at it in different scenarios in different ways, and your specific scenario could be totally different than this. But it's a way to look at it to try to calculate up, does it make sense for you or not to do the NUA strategy? I hope this helped you. This is the kind of stuff we work with clients here at Jazz Wealth and show them. If you want, check us out, jazzwealth.com. We'd be happy to help you too.